take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, they can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
All right, coming to you not quite live from Studio C in the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. My name is Ross Taylor. I'm your special host for a special edition of the In-Season 2 Right Turns podcast. And though I'm the host, I am not the stars of this episode. I want to let these guys introduce themselves. If you will, give me your name, number, position, and let's go hometown and high school shout out.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Barrett Carter. I'm number 0. I play linebacker, and I'm from Suwanee, Georgia, and I went to North Gwinnett High School.
I'm Woodaz from Tampa, Florida. I'm number 17. Played linebacker, and I went to Jesuit High School.
Ross Taylor, PR guy. I don't wear a number. Coppell High School. Hadn't played football since 7th grade. That's all right. All right, want to talk a little bit, coming off a big win against Stanford, another conference win, stayed undefeated within the conference. Stanford game for the defense, kind of a tale of two halves. Coach Sweeney kind of challenged the group a little bit post-game, publicly said, poor in the first half, but responded in the second. Loved the way that the defense responded. What was kind of your message to teammates going into this week, and really how can the unit kind of put together a complete game?
Message really that I've been trying to preach is football is 4 quarters or however long it takes. And although we did start off a little shaky, we have a chance to really rewrite the story in the second half. And I feel like we did that. I feel like we responded well. We made really good halftime adjustments, which helped in the second half. But that's just really what I've been trying to preach. Like, we could start off bad. That's obviously the goal, to start off strong and, execute. But things happen, but just football's 4 quarters or however long it takes.
I agree. I would say something similar, that we need to respond. Like a lot of times during games, not everything's going to be good. You're going to make mistakes. I mean, we're all human. But we got to flush it and move on. Like, okay, we're going to give up a touchdown. We're not going to shut every team out. We're not going to hold every team to 0 yards. And we're going to let up big plays. But we got to move on and play the next play, and I think we did a really good job of that this week.
What kind of value is there in that type of resilience and being coachable to be able to respond in-game like that and not have to wait for the next week to kind of start making corrections?
I think it really builds confidence, honestly, knowing that you can let something happen or a big play may happen against you or whatever, but you're going to respond and that we're not phased. Which can really lead to confidence. Like, okay, yeah, they got to play on us. We're good. We're going to stop them right here.
One of the focuses this offseason, if you're inside this building, if you know, one of the real focuses was red zone defense, right?
Yeah.
After last year, another remarkable year for the defense, but one area that Coach Sweeney, Coach Goodwin really harped on for months up until kickoff was red zone defense. Stanford goes 1 for 4 in the red zone last week. What was it like to kind of see that focus from this entire offseason in that one specific area really kind of come to fruition against Stanford?
I think it's a testament just to how we prepare and just practice. Wade can even agree with this. Like, when we practice, we, really exhaust everything. And, practice is hard. It's like when we get to game time and we're in a tough situation, like offenses in the red zone, and you have to bow up and get a stop. It doesn't make it easy, but it definitely, take some stress off of you just because we know we died before we even went to battle. That's I think Coach Sweeney says that, but it's a testament just to how we prepare and just how practice is. Just we practice those situations, and when they show up in game, we're ready for it.
Especially this past week, Coach Sweeney really challenged us that we haven't performed well in the red zone, and I think we all, as a defense, kind of took offense to that, and we're like, okay, we'll show you. And I'm really happy with how we performed, but obviously that's one game. We got to keep it going. We've only played 4 games. It's a long season. We got to keep it rolling.
I mean, obviously it changes week to week with the game plan, but what are some of the keys in that area of the field, just speaking generally?
I say communication has to be at an all-time high. Make sure everybody's on the same page, and because offense, especially in the red zone, they love to do a lot of shifts and motions just to, get your eyes going going different places. So I'll say just communication is probably the main thing.
Yeah, mistakes are magnified in the red zone for sure. You can take one wrong step and a lineman gets an angle on you and there's a crease and then boom, they're falling forward into the end zone. So you really got to be disciplined with your plan and have really good eyes, I would say.
So you guys were putting up some numbers and a whole lot of columns on that defensive stat sheet on Saturday. So we want to take a look at some of these plays, and I want you guys to kind of walk us through it. So first we're going to look here. Barrett, tell me what you see.
So I'm not going to say what call we were in, but this specific call, I was just watching the quarterback, and I knew that number 8 specifically, he likes to run, and I was ready for it. I knew once he gets in the game, he's trying to run the ball, and I saw him take one step to get out of the pocket, and I just knew I had to go get him. And, yeah, that was just something that we had practiced all week and just studying their personnel and what they do. And, fortunately it showed up game time. I was happy to get the sack.
All right, well, we're going to go reverse chronologically here. We're going to go to the start of the game, first possession of the game, Stanford's first drive. It's 4th down. We knew Stanford has been incredibly aggressive on 4th downs this year under Coach Troy Taylor. So you get a 4th and 1 early. And, Wade, I want you to walk me through what you see here.
Yeah, well, the way they lined up, they were telling it with their eyes. I was looking at the running back and at the quarterback. The running back was staring at me the entire time. I knew they were about to run it to us or to my side. And if you look before, I was telling KB, I was like, KB, come on, scoot up. They're about to run it right here. And then I saw the running back's angle. He was real wide, and I'm technically not supposed to go inside, but I saw the ball, and I was like, I gotta go. So, and the ball was sticking out right there, so I had to try to rip it out, and it worked. So,
is that an instinct you've always had, just to see the ball out like for you in that amount of time at that speed to be able to get your hand directly on the ball and just rip it like that? Is that a skill you've always had, or is that something you developed?
It's definitely been developed. I think a vision for the ball I've had, but hand placement and stuff and knowing timing, I had to learn over my time here at Clemson.
Got it. All right, we got one more clip, and this is of Wade, but Barrett, I want you to walk us through it for Wade. So,
okay.
All right, second half, they come out throwing. What do you see here?
So Wade's a little hook dropper right here, and right now he's just reading the quarterback's eyes. And if you watch Wade in practice, if you've watched Wade at all his whole career, these plays are nothing new to him. I've seen him do this too many times. Honestly, it happens like almost every single day. But Wade has great ball skills, and he's just reading the quarterback, and he almost dropped the ball. If you drop that, I thought he was going to drop it, but he jumped up and made the play, made a great catch, and he really should have scored. But it's a great catch nonetheless.
I should have scored.
In your mind, did you have it the whole way, or was there any fear of like, oh man, I dropped it?
So at first, I never secured it until the bottom. That's why I fell down and like cradled it. See, even right there, it's still
like
out.
Almost on the ground.
But if I would have stuck it, I would have tried to score. I would have had to show off my running back skills.
I would have blocked for you. You would have scored.
All right, thanks.
You'd have been at the same corner you scored last year, right? Had you run it back?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We also got a couple photos. If pictures are worth 1,000 words, we figured we'd add a couple photos for you guys to respond to. So we've got here. I believe this was in the second half. Wade, you were pumped up here, man, looking directly to camera. What's going through your mind here?
This was right after the 4th down stop. I can't remember what. I think this was in the 4th quarter, I believe. Yeah, this was right. Yep, this was right at the start of the 4th quarter. And Barrett made that huge tackle on 3rd and 1, and then they went for the QB sneak, and Cuddy stood the whole pile up, and we stuffed them. Everybody just started running, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to start running too. And I turned around and came back, and then that's when this picture was taken, and Coach Eason actually rocked me right here. He came and hit me so hard I was not ready for it, but yeah, that's some good emotion.
I love to see Wade play with emotion. Like, Wade is always – it's a good thing. He's so passionate. He's so locked in. But, like, to see this picture and to see, like, whatever he's doing with his face, I don't know. That's just great to see because he's just locked in all the time. But it's cool.
I will say, I know he cut weight, but Nick Eason is probably the last guy I want to see hitting me coming on if I'm coming onto the sideline, right?
Yeah, it hurt.
Man.
I felt it for sure.
Yeah, I imagine it's a little different if Nolan Turner or Carter Thomason or somebody's coming over and if Coach Eason gets you, he's going to get you.
Yeah, it was like shoulder into chest, knocked me back too. And I was like, oh, I was not expecting that one.
All right, then obviously we've got the tradition, we win, we dance. And Barrett, looked like you had some serious preparations going. What do we got? Ski goggles here? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so the past couple of weeks, I've been wearing just like sunglasses or like my shades for We Win, We Dance. And I'm like, I got to step it up. So I pulled out my trusty Amazon app and, I bought some ski goggles.
There's no way you bought those.
Yeah, no, I can show you the purchase. But bought some ski goggles and now I'm just going to they're literally in my game day locker. They're just waiting to be pulled out after we win. So that's going to be like my new thing. Just put the goggles on and just have a good time.
I will say, I believe you two are the first 2 return guests in the history of the Two Right Turns podcast. And he did say he's got a shopping problem.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit of a shopaholic. So that all tracks.
Bad.
We actually talked about this last week. I told him, I was like, dude, you gotta stop. He's like, I gotta get new clothes, bro. I got to.
Yeah, I have a problem. It's bad.
Well, maybe we can get you an orange Death Valley hoodie since that was apparently the uniform of the day and we didn't tell anybody.
Well, you didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I do feel like we crossed a little bit of a threshold with We Win, We Dance this week between Cade's cowboy hat and your goggles. It feels like props are now part of the equation. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure.
I would say. Now I feel like it's going to turn into a competition now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to bring in something special every week.
Do we like the Texas quarterback with the cowboy hat and Tiger Walk?
I loved it. I loved it.
With the little mullet or flow, whatever you want to call it, he's growing, and with the cowboy hat, the boots he had on,
it's very fitting. I love it.
So he and his boys on the offense have this thing rolling right now. So I've got a question from a football nobody. When the defense is on the sideline, obviously y'all are doing corrections, getting some rest, talking to the coaches. How much are you able to watch and appreciate what your brothers on the other side of the ball are doing during a game?
Oh, I'm tuned in every snap.
It's tough, though. I'm not going to lie. They've been scoring so quick.
Yeah, it's been
We're sitting there getting our corrections.
Trying to get a breather, trying to correct the mistakes, and then boom, deep ball to Cole Turner or West, whoever it is. But it's been exciting. But I'm tuned in every snap. Wes is showing us stuff on the iPad. I'm looking at the iPad wall, looking at the jumbotron. Like I'm tuned in. But I'm really proud of them. They've been doing some really good stuff.
Yeah, they put in the work. This offseason, they've taken tremendous strides.
Yeah.
And you reap what you sow. And they've put the work in. So
yeah, and you'll talk about the quick change. It's been 3 straight games the offense has had a 1-play touchdown drive. It's the first time Clemson's done that since 2017. Yeah. So I mean, it's the second you guys are getting off the field, getting them the ball back. It seems like we're striking up the band every now and then. So I imagine you guys got to stay on alert.
Yeah,
it's great. You want to correct the mistakes, but shoot, when you have a offense that's creating explosive plays and doing all that stuff. You can't be too mad about that, so I'm happy for him.
So I've got the 2 veteran linebackers here right now, but we got to talk about the golden-haired elephant in the room, right? Sammy Brown. Some crazy numbers the last couple weeks. Man. 3.5 tackles for loss for NC State, 2 sacks against Stanford. So he talked to the media about Coach Sweeney kind of joking that he's a running back playing linebacker, right? Never came off the field at Jefferson, so never really focused on being just a linebacker. Both of you guys known for your versatility. Barrett, you played everywhere in high school. You were primarily a safety in high school, right?
Right.
So both of you kind of had to make that transition as well as guys who were great athletes, know football, but didn't necessarily know the ins and outs of playing linebacker. How tough is that transition, and how have you all seen Sammy handle that?
Sammy's done a great job. He's a really smart kid. He's a freaking biology major.
He's brilliant.
A genius. So I really have no surprise that he was able to step in and pick it up. And then also he's physically gifted, one of the strongest dudes in the weight room, and then a freak out there on the football field. He's a football player. So I'm really not surprised at all that he's able to step in and make an immediate impact for us. And I'm really proud of him. But you can't discount the work he's put in. He spends some time up there in the film room making sure he's got it down pat. So I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah, just like Wade said, he's He's definitely the strongest linebacker. I mean, yeah, for sure. And then he's smarter than all of us, and like you said, bio major. Like, that's not easy to do. And to get on the field and our defense, like, to learn it this fast as a true freshman, like, that's unreal. Like, so it's a testament to the work he's put in on and off the field, and earning the coach's trust. And he's just a natural born freak, and he's showing that to the world now. But I like to take credit for Sammy being here since I host him on his OV. But no, he's a great kid, a great player. He's really showing that he's going to be special. So I'm proud of him.
Yeah, well, let's keep that pipeline of freak athletes from Georgia coming in to play linebacker for us. That's treated us well in the last couple of years. Do want to go to the TV real quick. We had a little piece of the ESPN broadcast. The announcers, Mark Jones and Roddy Jones and Quint Kesnick, had who are we looking at on the screen here, Barrett, as Joe Robbins rolls the footage?
We're looking at Big B, Barrett Carter Sr. We're looking at Kennedy Carter and Alexis Carter. And yeah, Alexis Carter is, if you know Alexis Carter, she's something else. And my dad and my sister, they're pretty chill, but my mom, she is a little firecracker. Like, she is crazy. But that's my rock, that's my foundation. Do it all for them. So proud that I'm super happy that they were there to watch me play, but love them to death for sure.
And so Quint on the broadcast was talking about how you said your sister's your hero. Why is that?
She's just, I don't even know. She's just, my parents did an amazing job of raising us, not to toot, their own horn, but my sister, she's just always just showed me what hard work is. And, obviously I play football. She didn't choose the athletics route. She was just super smart always, and always top of her class. She graduated summa cum laude, one of those cum laudes. She was like number 2 in her class when she graduated. Like, so I was always focused on the sports side of it, but she always just taught me, like, you have to balance it, and you have to really, pour into both academics and sports. So and she's just a real example of that. So that's why she's my role model. That's my dog for sure.
And so a little behind the scenes here, on Fridays at home games, the TV crew will come in, meet with our coaches, talk to Coach Sweeney, and it's always right before the senior meeting. And so whenever that time ends and it's time for the senior meeting each year, the seniors have one player that will come in. Coach calls him the sergeant at arms, and will come get Coach and wrap up the TV meeting and bring Coach into the senior meeting. This year it's Barrett Carter, so you come in and chat with the group a little bit. And we were talking about financial planning and educating young people. I don't know how we got on that topic, but then Coach Sweeney goes, "Yeah, Barrett's not going to have any problem with that. Barrett, what's your dad do?" What'd you say?
Yeah, my dad is a financial advisor, so all the money that I've made, and he's just been so helpful with all that. Just teach me what to do with it, and just how to keep building it, and just stuff like that. So definitely helpful to have him in my corner for sure.
So it's not just Barrett's family I want to talk about. Wade, I mean, your own family, you got what, at least 3 athletes in your family? Are you one of 3 collegiate athletes
That's
among
correct.
the kids?
My sister recently graduated, so her playing career is over, but she played soccer at Jacksonville University, and then my younger brother's here.
That's what I wanted to ask about. So, I mean, you've got 3 student athletes, 1 former student athlete, I guess, in your family, but now you and Drew, when was the last time y'all played together? Is it at Jesuit?
It was my senior year when we made that state championship run.
How has it been having him here?
I mean, it's awesome. For everybody who knows my brother, he's a trip. He's such a clown. I love having him around, though. He'd bring some joy to my life for sure.
We saw him at team picture day with the big mic. I think he looked like he was having a little fun with it. He enjoyed being in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure. If you have any video clips of Drew, you would know that he likes being in front of the camera. He doesn't change. He's like that all the time. So
yeah. Well, another conference matchup this week, FSU coming up. Kind of what is your message to your teammates internally, coming off 3 straight wins? What have kind of your conversations around the building been like this week?
Just keep up what we've been doing, or not even keep up what we've been doing. You know, we have to be better than what we've been doing. We can't get complacent. Being 3-1 is cool. Being 4-1 will be even better, and 5-1, so on and so forth. So we just got to, you know, keep the same hunger that we started with, the same drive, and, you know, just stay focused and just don't let the outside noise play a part into what's going on. You know, we got to stay inside out within this building and just, you know, keep on stacking days.
Yeah, and this is a bunch that beat us last year. So we got to remember that feeling of walking off that field when they came into Death Valley and beat us. And we get a chance to go down there this year, but we have to continue to practice hard and practice like we want to go out there and prove something.
So before we wrap up, I want to get a quick plug in. Where can our fans and listeners find you guys on X and Instagram?
BCSZN on both.
Wade Woodaz on both.
All right, that's going to wrap us up from here in Studio C in the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. I'm Ross Taylor. Thank you for joining us on another special edition of the Two Right Turns podcast. Make sure to subscribe everywhere you listen, and we'll see you next time.